Hello everybody, this is Five. We're checking out Gal-Nin. This is a game I've not played before. We're going to give it a playtest and see if we can give some useful feedback. Hopefully the volume level's okay. I might turn that down just a smidge. It doesn't seem like it's overly loud, the music I'm hearing right now. It actually seems quite reasonable, but hopefully you can hear me quite well. Let's go ahead and read the game page here. It says, play as a beautiful ninja and collect scrolls to learn the abilities needed to defeat the swarms of enemies. Throw your shuriken to target them with elemental attacks and find the right element to deal massive weakness damage. When you're satisfied, you can find the key to escape this dungeon. It goes on to list controls. It's got a whole grid of different controls and control schemes. We've got Xbox, PlayStation, PC. I'm gonna try out my Xbox 360 controller here. See how that works. List some credits here. Inspired by FF7R's Yuffie and Kamiko. This game was initially created for the GMTK 2021 Jam. Feedback is greatly appreciated since they missed out on getting it from the Jam. So I assume that's the Final Fantasy VII remake, which I haven't played, but that's okay. So let's see what's in the game here. I've got the downloaded version on Windows, and I think at the moment we've got it in a window. Let's go ahead and drop the overlay so you can see properly. This is press start enter. I'll try hitting alt enter, see if that looks like that gives us full screen. Okay, we're in borderless window mode, I believe. Alright, start button. We've got the options. They're all the way in the corners here, which is a little bit strange. Usually we want to kind of pad out things a bit. So you don't want to like shove things too close to the edges of the screen. It's just sort of a design principle. You usually want it more in the middle part, so it's kind of strange, but that's okay. Just what occurs to me here. We got play. I guess we've got some, it looks like scrolling between some, let's call it tutorial elements showing the controls. So it looks like LNR is to rotate some, I guess those are the elemental things that were mentioned. And then we've got buttons. It looks like left button is something, down button is something, top button is something. This would be nice to look at. I mean, this is, oh, there's more things here too. Is EXC. Okay, so it's showing the PC controls now. Oh, I think it's because I grabbed the mouse. Alright, yeah, it must be because I grabbed the mouse. I guess I can go to quit. Okay, so that's a little weird. Apparently you could just quit out after selecting the play option instead of like going back in the menu here. Alright. Okay. So, alright, now it actually is getting quite loud all of a sudden. Wow. Let's go ahead and turn that down a bit more. Okay, yeah, so that's unnecessarily loud. Very common problem I find when playtesting. People have their volume levels all kinds of jacked up. Always recommend, you know, listen to some other things, you know, YouTube, other games you have installed, whatever, and get kind of a general idea of where you should set your own game's volume. So I was gonna mention that like it was showing these things in the menu before, and I kind of wish I could just like look at them all at once, which I guess I can here in the pause menu. I mean, this looks kind of rough and unfinished. That's no big deal, but at least I can kind of look at all these things without them like keep changing on me and kind of try to make sense of what it's telling me. So I don't know, like for instance, what this is. This looks like an attack, and this is like a throwy attack, and there was some other icons that were in there besides these three. So I don't know what happened to the other ones that was showing me in the start menu there, but I guess we're gonna try to figure this out by playing. All right, so at the moment, oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, so we've got, I guess there's some kind of elemental thing. We got a direction movement. Unfortunately, the D-pad isn't. The D-pad only works for up and down. For whatever reason, the left and right on the D-pad isn't bound. So that doesn't work. The thumbstick does work, but unfortunately it doesn't feel very good because it's 8 direction input. If this was a platformer just left and right, I think that would be a lot easier, but like moving in 8 directions is starting to feel kind of funky. Could maybe use a little bit more dead zone. So the dead zone is quite small right now, which it's definitely more than 0, but basically setting the dead zone, the smaller you make it, the more kind of miss inputs you get. So for instance, like if I want to move diagonally and then stop, and see how like sometimes the sprite changes to like the left or the right or whatever. If I do this way, sometimes it changes to the left facing sprite, and I'm just pressing diagonal and then letting it return to neutral. So you can see how it kind of gives this left input a little bit here and there. That's one of the consequences of having the dead zone be that small. So it's just putting that up a little bit. I guess we picked up something else here. I don't know what the yellow is on the right. There we've got a thing. I guess that goes in like the last direction we pressed. I don't know what this is. We got more meters on the right. I have no idea what I'm looking at. This. Oh, is that something I did? Or is that the enemy? That's what the enemy's doing. I don't know what this puff of smoke is. Got whatever that is. Oh, what the heck? This kind of teleported me to... Okay, so this thing sticks into things, and then you can kind of press the button again and sort of dash to where it was. It's interesting. Okay, so this... Wow, these enemies take a lot of hits. It kind of feels a little spongy, especially for like being in the beginning of the game. Kind of just feels like it takes a lot of hits to take them down. Maybe it's not as satisfying as it would be if you could kill them a little faster. But yeah, so I'm confused by the controls already. I mean, there's some like these whatever these indicators are here. This didn't really help me out that much, to be honest with you. L and R at the moment isn't. Oh, I see. Okay, so you have L and R here, but I was hitting the triggers, not the bumpers. So when I hold the controller, I naturally rest my index fingers on the triggers. So those are like my preferred sort of primary input. If I use the bumpers, I have to kind of reach up for them. Some people hold it a little differently. They put their index fingers on the bumpers. Just a matter of preference. But yeah, for me, if I see L and R, I think the triggers. So if you're going to use that, I would recommend maybe just map this to both, like the triggers and the bumpers, if you're not going to use all 4 of them, you know? For different things, I mean. And apart from that, I guess maybe these moves change depending on which one of these things is going on. So for whatever reason, also the right button, face button, the B button in this case, on this controller, also does this, which is the same as the right bumper. Oh, okay, so right and left bumper are... This makes a different sound. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, to be honest with you. Oh, okay. I'm starting to make some sense of this. Okay, so I'm noticing the button, like the left face button, is changing depending on context here, and I didn't really know why. Oh, these guys just respawned all of a sudden. It's kind of weird. I didn't go that far away. It just seems like if you're gonna respawn enemies, it'd be like when this place is like all the way off the screen, and then you come back, maybe something like that. You know, further away. In any case, or maybe it was just after a long time or something. But so apparently, top face button throws this, and then like you don't. I guess the weapon that you use, this sword thing, is like turning into the throwing star or something. So now I don't have it anymore. I think that's the idea. So when I try and press that button, instead of doing a sword attack, I get this like fireball attack until I get it back. Okay, so the puff of smoke is apparently a dash. So for whatever reason, it kind of just makes you move quicker for a moment. It's kind of a weird way to do a dash, but it's interesting. But yeah, so if you don't press a directional input, you still get the effect of this, which is really misleading in my opinion. So of course I had like no idea what that was supposed to be. So I don't know, you could I don't know what the best way to do this would be that would make it less misleading. I mean, you could make it so that like you just kind of, if you don't press an input, that it goes in the direction you're facing or something. I mean, that would work. I mean, most games when you press a dash button, it just kind of makes you go in a direction. But I don't know if that's what you want to do here or not. In any case, so the blue meter, I'm thinking that's maybe a combo meter of some sort. I don't know what the yellow is. Maybe that's my health. Like, oh, okay, my health is on the left. I didn't even look at this meter on the left. Oh, what the heck? Well, it seemed like it pulled the enemy towards me or something. I don't know what happened there. Alright, so presumably I can like throw this and like warp in and then hit him with the melee attacks when I'm up close. Wow, holy cow. Like, I guess that's the thing. Interesting to think about. I think... Alright, I'm noticing that when you throw this projectile, it kind of has like a kickback effect where it kind of pushes you in the opposite direction. That's interesting. I'm not sure if I like that. I think it just kind of feels more annoying than it does like you're doing something powerful or whatever, like shooting a strong gun or something. I'm not sure if I like the way that it sort of pushes you around, because that kind of takes some control away from you, and maybe it pushes you into something dangerous that's like behind you or something. I don't know, but in my opinion, I'd rather it just kind of let me stay in place. I'm not sure if I can just stun lock enemies infinitely by just hitting them forever. It's kind of what it feels like at the moment. I guess this is a training thing here. I'm wondering. I don't know what these things are doing. Let's go over here. So you can't attack while you're dashing. The dash isn't like... doesn't last all that long, so it's alright, I think. There's definitely some input buffering going on here, which is generally a good thing. I don't know where I'm supposed to go, actually. Can I go through here or something? Can you move, please? Oh, that's... How did that guy end up hitting me? It didn't look like I actually... I don't know, I'm not really sure where the colliders are here. Like, it's a little hard to tell, but there's some instances here where it kind of looks like whatever the visual of the attack isn't really touching the character sprite here, so... not sure if... Oh, is that a door I can go through? I'm not sure if the colliders might be a little too large or something. I guess it's like a lock sound. Okay, so I guess you just walk into that and then it makes a sound. I'm dropping a few frames here and there, or they're at least a little bit unstable, so that's one of the things that you get from playing in exclusive full screen mode, unfortunately. At least on Windows 7, which is what I use. I still don't... Maybe I can get up. That was interesting. I tried to throw upwards and it went diagonal here. Oh, you can do like a wider thing. So one thing that's curious to me, apparently shooting the fireballs is what drains the yellow meter here. One thing that's curious to me is it seems like with the projectile attack here, you can't shoot this in the diagonal directions, which is kind of weird because you kind of expect something that has 8 directional movement to allow you to do your attacks in those directions. Actually, it seems to be the case as well for the melee attacks, although in that case it's not as noticeable because some of the attacks kind of cover that direction anyways, but yeah, I don't really get why you would want to restrict the... Oh, I just did that accidentally, but now I get it. But yeah, I don't know why you'd want to restrict the attacks to 4 directions like that. Like if you had some kind of reason for it, maybe it makes sense, but I don't see what it would be. Alright, there's the key. We got the green thing now. Alright. Now we have electricity, I guess. I don't understand why the left bumper makes a different sound, but it does like the same thing. Maybe once you have more than 2 of them, it goes in the opposite direction or something of cycling through the things. Something like that, I don't know. Oh, my health is like super low. What the heck? When did that happen? I have no idea when that happened. I would also suggest... That was kind of weird. I didn't really see what the attack was there. I guess it was just like some weird little poof shockwave thing coming out of the bat. I don't really know what that was, but... Okay, that's weird. I guess my problem with that is I don't think it telegraphs it very well that it's coming. There's like a little sound effect, but it's I don't know. It's not easy to interpret what that means. It's just kind of a beep sound for one thing. So I definitely, I think telegraphs are really important for action games like this. So you might benefit from putting some work into the visual there. By the way, the collision on these things is really annoying. Like, this collider seems way bigger than it needs to be. I don't really understand that, but here's our key. Yeah, so the other thing I was going to mention, I don't think these UI bars are necessarily ideal. So again, they're kind of squished up to the edges of the screen a bit. I mean, obviously your UI kind of lives around the edges usually, but you could probably pad this, particularly like the distance from the left and the right. You could probably get away with padding that out a little bit more, especially with like a 16:9 aspect ratio. I think you can get away with that. But the other thing is, like, I don't feel like I can really see the the health bar over here very well, which seems kind of ironic because it's massive. But the way it just kind of exists on like the very edge of the screen, it just sort of forms an edge to the screen, or something to that effect. I'm not really sure, but I don't find it to be super visible. I still have to kind of like look over there to actually see it. So maybe there's some better way you can manage that. Maybe if I was sitting back a little further or something from the screen, then that would make a difference. I don't know. But yeah, I get a little bit of these misinputs sometimes, just trying to like press up and throw this, for instance, and I end up doing it diagonally. Alright, so here's something I find kind of annoying. So like the way the dash works, again, you press the button and you kind of move faster for a brief moment. But for instance, you can do like this tiny little dash, but then the timer before you can act again with an attack is still has to go down all the way. So like if I do like a little dash and then just hold the attack button, you can see there's like this huge gap where I'm just not making any action. Just doesn't feel very good in my opinion, so I think you could benefit from tweaking the behavior of the dash here a little bit somehow. Alright, I don't know what these things are I'm picking up. This guy oddly appears to shoot in only 3 directions. So we still have these collisions with the enemies. We have, this is sort of a narrow area where we don't have a lot of room to move around. The colliders and the enemies are pretty big, and yeah, it can get a little congested, and I feel like I wish I could kind of dash through them or something, you know, like, so I could get a little bit more mobility in spite of the fact that they can kind of block me a little bit. I feel like that would help. So I think we got... What is that? Oh, what? That was really weird. Oh my gosh, everything just appears out of nowhere. Oh yeah, see, there's a lot of potential for stuff just kind of body blocking you. I'm not sure how I feel about the bats kind of attacking in like all directions around them, because that could be hard to avoid again with kind of tight spacing. I mean, not much room to move around, and then when you have like a bunch of other enemies around and stuff, sometimes it's like all you can do is just try to keep moving, right? Just kind of avoid whatever attacks things are throwing at you. But if you have an enemy that attacks in all directions, even if it's not like, you know, a very far reach or something, sometimes you can end up in situations where you're just trying to like run, and then you end up getting hit by stuff anyways. Whereas if it's like an aimed attack, your chances of avoiding something through movement like that are going to be a lot better. Alright, see, that was annoying. So I tried to kind of dash into this guy and start hitting him, but the little dash timer didn't end yet, so he just kind of got his attack in before I could. So it feels weird. So it's like I press the dash button, I zoom in, and I start just like spamming the button, and then nothing happens, and then I get hit, because his attack comes out actually quite fast, and it takes quite a while for that dash to wear off, so... It really feels a little weird. Oh, okay. That guy shoots through walls. Interesting. Don't know what that guy's doing out there. another thing. Okay, so as far as the telegraphs on the enemies, right now you don't have much more than a sound, and I just realized that because all the enemies use the same sound, you don't know which enemy on the screen is about to do the attack based on just the sound, right? So you really need that visual for a telegraph to really kind of make sense of that. I don't really understand. I guess you can throw like a lot of these. But yeah, I don't really understand the purpose of that particular special attack, apart from the fact that it does some amount of damage, obviously. Oh, that was awkward. And the ice... Oh, right. Oh, okay, so I just remembered. That's weird. Why don't I pick it up when I'm this close? Okay, I just ran out of health and died, but I think you're supposed to be able to just kind of walk. I'm not sure what triggers it to come back, apart from obviously pressing the button again. Wait, let me try this dummy up here. These guys keep respawning. Oh, is it only because the enemies died? Must be because it died. Okay. I feel like I should be able to just kind of walk into it or something. I don't know, maybe not, but I thought that was an option for some reason. Right, so I keep interrupting myself. I apologize for that, but yeah, I just remembered from reading on the page that it mentioned that the enemies have like different elemental weaknesses. I didn't even think about that until just a moment ago, so I haven't been doing anything of the sort for that. So I've been kind of wondering like what the point of the different elemental attacks are, because they don't seem to behave much differently. Apart from obviously the fireballs are different here compared to... Oh, I can't... Oh, I hit the wrong button again. Oh, wait, okay, so I didn't realize I lost all my progress, and that means I have to go get all the different things again. But yeah, so you've got the fireball launching, and then like the ice thing and the electric thing just seem to sort of deal damage. I don't really know if there's any other sort of behavioral aspect that's going to differentiate these or not. It's kind of what I would expect. I think it'd be nicer that way rather than just, you know, matching elemental damage types. But I don't know, am I just supposed to kind of guess like what? I guess there was kind of a big number, so maybe that was like a effective type of attack against this enemy. I don't know. But yeah, that's something you're going to want to obviously teach the player somehow, and it was like obviously someone who didn't read the game page wouldn't have figured that out at all probably, but or you know, maybe they would eventually. But yeah, I guess that would be something that you would... Oops. You want to put in like a tutorial or something in a later version of the game. Okay, I'm trying to like dash to get out of the way of these guys, and then I'm trying to spam the attack because the dash isn't working, but the dash is still active, so I can't attack, and that was kind of an awkward situation there. So... Oops. Yeah, so the fire attack goes in like whatever direction you're facing, sort of. The other two attacks home in onto the thing that you stabbed your shuriken thing into. So it's quite different the way those work compared to each other. I don't know, I'm not sure I'm into the idea of like you throw the thing into the guy and then you have to like try the special attack, and then if that doesn't do the effective damage, then you have to like switch and then like try the next attack and then like switch and then try the next attack. It takes a long time, and then your boomerang might come back, or the enemy might be dead already. So it sort of feels almost kind of like a troublesome to try to work out which enemies are responsive to which elemental types here. That was not the button I meant to press. I'm trying to dodge diagonally here to get out of the way. It wasn't working. Oh, I wasn't trying to go up there yet. I guess it's the end of the demo. Oh, we lost our highlight here. Oh, there we go. Now, I swear they showed something different here. Yeah, right here. So, what was going on the left there? That's confusing. I don't know why. It's quite confusing. It like shows the same thing over and over again, and then like suddenly it shows like different sprites doing different things. The same buttons. I guess it's trying to show the idea that you get the different context on the left button here, depending on if you have the shuriken in someone or not. Whatever we're gonna call that. Yeah, I kind of wonder if it's just... Maybe it's easier to just not bother with the elemental types and just kind of kill everything with the melee, you know? Oh, here's everyone again. Okay, so I guess the thing that in that chest just gave me some health. Wonder if you might try like some... I mean, in addition to the fact that I think maybe your collision in some cases is a little bit too large on different things, especially the things you collide with walking around. I wonder if you might want to try out like some circular colliders instead of square ones, because you also get caught on the corners a lot more with square and rectangular collision like this, and that can be kind of annoying. It's the same with the enemies. So it might just feel better if you just try circles instead. Alright, I'm getting off task here. So I don't have to stick that into something to use its sort of warp move. keep that in mind. Oh my gosh. Wait, didn't I? Did I not pick that key up? What the heck? Apparently I didn't even get the thing that I was supposed to do over there. My brain's probably not functioning at 100% at the moment. Apologize for that. It's gonna be important to pick up, I guess. So yeah, I guess I can probably just avoid all the enemies and run to the end, but that would be stupid. You know, that's not... Obviously, you don't really want that to be possible in the final game, but this being an early version, we can excuse that kind of thing and actually try to kill the enemies, but... Yeah, so for the most part, for me, it just seems like it's simpler to just not try to do the elemental matching under the way things currently are. It just kind of takes so much time and effort in a sense that you could just spend on swinging a sword here, and that kills the enemies just as well, so... I'm wondering, do you get like when you're doing the little dash back to your shuriken or whatever, do you get any invincibility for that? Because it seems like there's an awful lot of potential for you to fly through something that's going to hurt you while doing that, and I'm not sure if that's what you would want. Particularly when you have like these bullets and stuff, like some of these enemies just like burst bullets in all directions, and it seems kind of intuitive to me to kind of use this and just sort of dash through them, but if you end up getting hurt anyways, obviously that's not really an option anymore. So I don't know, I don't want to just run to the end necessarily. Maybe I'll just go kill a few more things here. Oh, what the? I was looking off to the left where the other enemies were, and that guy just appeared like directly on top of me. That's kind of weird. So yeah, only other thing I think I want to mention is sometimes it's a little awkward when you throw this thing, and then you have to kind of do the warping thing to get it back again. Sometimes when I'm trying to do that, either like the enemy will suddenly die, Like, sometimes the enemy just suddenly dies, then when, like, I press the button again, instead of warping to it, it actually throws the thing again. And then, like, when I start spamming the attack button, it starts, like, spamming the special moves instead of the actual attack and this kind of thing. Something about the combination of buttons that we're using here and the way this works, it can get a little awkward and... I'm not really sure... I mean, there's so many different ways you can do a control scheme, right? I'm not sure what would be best, but I'm not sure if I like the idea of the main attack button kind of always changing what it does, right? Like, I think if that was more consistent, you'd just feel better and you get less, like, kind of weird mistakes and stuff going on, for one thing. So... I wonder if you might want to use just like a different button for the special attacks, and then even if you keep the requirement that you have to have the thing stuck inside them before you can use it, I think that kind of be fine. And then what you could do is you could have it so if you press this to throw it and then it sticks in somebody, maybe you could have like the primary fire attack make you zip in here. So what you do is you press the button to throw that, and then you can just kind of spam the primary fire attack, and it would kind of dash in and start doing the attacks like that. I think that would actually be a lot more natural in my opinion, and lead to less of those kind of goofy mistakes and stuff that I was kind of making here and there. And part of it's just being, you know, a little distracted or whatever. But there are other times where I feel like I pressed the right combination of buttons, but like I said, just like something happened, like the enemy just suddenly died, and the boomerang thing came back, but I already had like a couple button presses buffered or something, and it started doing other things. So that, in my opinion, would be a pretty straightforward solution to that. That'll probably help out the general feel of this. At least that's what I think. So let's go ahead and wrap up the video here. I've just kind of messed around for a while. Obviously it's early. I definitely like the idea of... Oh, okay, that was all the way over here. I like the idea of like being able to throw the thing and then like dashing to where it is and then beating up whatever is there. That kind of thing, you know, that sort of mobility and stuff, that's really cool. Obviously having different special attacks and stuff is cool too, and having I guess the ability to kind of throw that into somebody and then have that be your sort of like a targeting system for your special attacks. That definitely can be cool too. I think all the elemental bonus damage stuff I'm not so much into. I think that's just, in addition to the fact that it's kind of awkward to, you know, spend the time figuring that out by just kind of one by one switching between the different things and seeing which one does the big number, and how much time that takes. I don't think it's necessarily very interesting to just have like, okay, green enemy takes one kind of attack and then the other enemy takes the other kind of attack, and even if you know like which one to use on each enemy, just simply like switching to that and then using it seems like it would be a little bit formulaic in my opinion. Like I'd rather make choices based on other factors, like the actual specific behaviors of the different special moves and that kind of thing, like which one applies to the current situation. Like maybe there's a lot of enemies, so I want to use the fireball because that has like a wide spread, or maybe it's just one powerful enemy, so I want to use an ability that's good for that and that kind of thing. That's more interesting in my opinion, rather than just, you know, which enemy has a pre-programmed weakness to the elemental type kind of thing, makes the number bigger. So maybe that would be something to explore. But as for what's here right now, definitely some interesting concepts at play, and hopefully the video gave you some ideas of things that could be polished up and such, and be interesting to see how it plays in the future for sure. So hopefully this is useful for you. Go ahead and let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next video.